You know what, though? Like, the unfair advantage thing, and I know we've had this conversation a ton of times, but like, okay, testosterone and steroids are unfair advantages, but I mean, you look at, I think guys in the NBA are great examples, like LeBron James, a Giannis Antetokounmpo or whatever. These individuals had certain parents that allowed them. Giannis has an Achilles tendon that's longer than, I think, anybody, right? LeBron James
I want to see that guy play live.
Oh, God.
Right?
He's a fucking great bully. Like, I saw this clip of him bullying the Suns, and like Chris Paul was there, and he was just like this, thinking of who to pass
Wouldn't
to.
that be awesome to see him, just to see him live?
Yeah.
Damn, they were just here, I think.
Really?
Like last night, they just beat the Kings. It went down to the fourth. Anyways, go ahead.
But like, being
Genetics, parents.
Yeah, like you can't pick your parents. And there are certain athletes, right, where people already assume LeBron takes a bunch of shit or LeBron is on test or whatever. But I mean, you see what he was doing when he was 19, 18 years old in the NBA. He was still scoring like 20, 22 points per game. He was a boy that was bullying young men, and he's been averaging like 25 through 30 his whole career. No amount of drugs is going to allow anybody to be able to compete with that guy. It's unfair advantage.
His mom showed like a basketball hoop that he dunked on when he was like 6 or something, or 5 or something. It was some age where you can't really jump very high. You know, like you see little kids, they jump a lot. And it wasn't, you know, we're not talking about like an 8-foot rim or anything like that, but it was pretty high, and I was like, that's wild. I've never seen a little kid be able to really jump very high. I mean, they can jump, they jump around, they hop around, but they don't really jump very high.
Yeah. And it's odd because, like, for example, I don't think it's good that there are drugs in the sport. And the goal for drug testing is to even the playing field. But if you do manage to even the playing field, with jiu-jitsu, technique is what matters, not purely physicality. But the guys who have the genetic gifts and that are also very technical, it's unfair.
Let me take some stuff, okay? My dad's 5'2". Cut me some slack here, right? You know.
And then it brings you
help me out over here.
It brings you to the Gordon Ryan thing, because when Nicky was on the show and he said, "Well, the reason why Gordon Ryan's so good, steroids," right? And even Gordon's game, his jiu-jitsu game isn't super explosive. He uses amazing technique, but if you see the way he looks and his transformation, drugs were a part of it, and he's been open about that. It makes you wonder, would he be Gordon Ryan without steroids? I mean, that's a legitimate question. I'm not trying to take away from the guy's skill, because he is the best. Yeah. But he's the best plus a little something, right?
Damn.
He's still the best, though. Do you know what your testosterone levels are at? How about your estrogen? How about your prolactin? How about your cholesterol? If the answer is, I don't know what they're at, well, we've been talking about blood work for a long time now. That's why we partnered with Merrick Health, a company owned by Derek for More Plates, More Dates. Now, with Merrick, you can get yourself something called the Power Project Panel, which will give you 26 different labs that will help you understand what's going on underneath the hood. After that, you'll be able to be partnered with one of their patient care coordinators, which will give you interventions that range from lifestyle, supplements, to potential hormonal health treatments that can help move you in the right direction. But it all starts with knowing what's going on down here. So get your blood work done. And Andrew, how can they get it?
Yes, we have two options for you guys. Head over to merrickhealth.com/powerproject. That's MAREK health.com/powerproject. There you guys will see the Power Project panel that Nsima was just talking about. And at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save $101 off of that panel. Now, if you want to custom select your own panel, you guys can use promo code PowerProject10 to save 10% off all labs. Again, that's at merrickhealth.com/powerproject. Links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes.
Yeah, I think a lot of our decisions really guide and kind of put us in a certain direction. And I would just say for myself, like, I'm not the same without steroids. I don't know if I would have been able to build some of the things that I built. The slingshot probably wouldn't have even been created, because I tore my pec partially because I was on steroids. I was on performance-enhancing drugs that allowed me to handle more weight than I otherwise could do naturally. It allowed me to be at a higher body weight than I otherwise could have achieved naturally. It allowed me to have more muscle mass than I could achieve naturally. And maybe even it so on the negative side, maybe it made my body tighter than normal.
Steroids plus Mark Bell equals slingshot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the path to the riches, right? I think You know, and I think if you think about great musicians and great people over the years, people use like I think Jimi Hendrix was pretty famous for using like LSD, and there's a long list of the Beatles and just all these people using like psychedelics, and it's been around forever. You know, people have been utilizing drugs and alcohol to put them in a different frame or different state of mind to be able to achieve something different. And would they achieve the same thing without? I don't think so. I think maybe they would still be unique people, most likely. They still are probably driven in a lot of ways, but I think, Arnold Schwarzenegger, maybe he never even comes to America without steroids, because the attraction to Arnold was how jacked he was at such a young age. I think Joe Weider saw him, and so forth, and the rest is history. He's in fucking movies and winning Olympias, and is Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman is Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, without marijuana, things like. I'm not trying to discredit anything that anyone's done. I have the most respect for Joe Rogan and what he's done. But again, I think these things, the psychedelics and some of these things, they shape kind of part of who you are. And steroids have been a huge part of my life for like over the last 20 years.
Yeah. Power Project family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.